Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Let's talk about why modern men feel like failures and what you can do about it. So guys, men between ages 18 and 25, this is really for you. You can continue watching if you're a little older, but this is really for younger guys. So if you feel like a failure, if you feel like you're not where you want to be, if you feel like you are in a rut, if you feel like you're not doing the things you're supposed to do, or you don't have the results you want, or you're not the type of person you feel like you should be. Maybe you have low self-esteem, maybe your confidence is low, maybe you're struggling with addictions, maybe you have social anxiety, maybe your finances are poor, maybe you have bad spending habits, maybe your family situation sucks, or your circle of influence isn't there, right? You don't have a great circle of influence. Maybe your body's out of shape, your health is deteriorating, or it's not great. You struggle to exercise properly, you struggle to eat correctly. You just have things that you wish were better, or you wish you were at a certain place in your life that you currently are not at. This is for you. So guys, hear me out. A lot of the big results that you are going to see in your life typically don't come until later. Just look at anybody in life. Look at any man in the world right now. Great. I mean, yes, are there younger guys who are killing it, internet influencers? Sure. But I would argue that that is a minority of the successful men in any career field, right? Think of basketball players, right? Yeah, some of them, start out 20, 22, 23, 24, but they don't really reach their peak until they're some of them mid to late 20s to early 30s, right? So if you're a guy and you're between 18 and 25 and you feel like, you know what, I'm not where I want to be, you can look all around you. Look at YouTubers, look at investors, look at business owners, look at guys that are really killing it in their career. I would argue at least 75% of them are in their late 20s to early 30s to mid 30s and beyond, right? So you have to understand as a foundation that the reason you may not be where you want to be in life is just because you're not old, you haven't gone through enough life yet, right? And that's not to say that you're doing things wrong. It just means that there's things that you have to experience that just come with age, right? I can't force myself to be a certain age and have certain experiences, right? I have to live through every single day, regardless of how old I am. And I have to be where I'm at. I have to experience the problems that I have right now, right? I can't worry about problems that I'm going to have 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, right? Those problems will arise and they will be handled when I'm at that point, right? And it's the same thing for you guys. So that's the foundation for just understanding why you may not be where you want to be, or why you don't have the character traits you need, or why you don't have the money you want, why you don't have the relationship you want, why you're struggling in a certain area of your life. That's the foundation. And the next thing to remember as well is that just because you fail at something, or just because you aren't good at something right now, doesn't mean that you're going, just because, let's say, for example, you are trying to be a great basketball player, just because maybe you struggle to dribble doesn't mean that you're a failure, right? That's just a part of your game that you have to develop, right? Or you want to be a great three-point shooter. That's a part of your game that you're just going to have to develop as you go, right? So first, for the first year or two of your career in basketball, I'm just using this as an example, you focus on your dribbling, right? So you sucked at dribbling. 2 years later, you mastered your dribbling. You're a great point guard. You can pass the ball well, right? And then the next 2 years, you work on your shooting, right? Now you're a great shooter. Then you work on your defense, right? You know how to read screens and everything. You learn to be aggressive. You learn to steal the ball at a better rate, right? You learn to block shots. You learn to not foul as much, right? Now your defense is better. Now, hey, guess what? 5 years from now, you're a better well-rounded basketball player, right? But just because you suck right now at the first thing because you're early on in your career doesn't mean you're a failure, right? And in a way, it's like you fail your way to success. Success is like it's like a failure game. The difference is this, right? The difference between a failure and a winner is a failure just stops, right? Like if I was a failure and let's say I'm playing basketball, an example of that would be, hey, I suck at dribbling. Let's say I worked on my dribbling game for 6 months, and I'm still a bad dribbler. The moment I fail is the moment I hang up my jersey and don't continue being a basketball player. That's the moment I fail. It's not the moment that I acknowledge the fact that I'm not that great at dribbling. Do you get what I'm trying to say? As long as I continue to work on that part of my game and improve on that part of my game, I'm a winner, right? Now, and then also, just because I'm a bad shooter doesn't mean that I can't develop that part of my game 2 years from now, right? As a business owner, or as like an influencer, as a YouTuber, as a coach, right? Let's say, I'm not great at sales calls. Well, just because I'm not great at sales calls doesn't mean that I'm a failure, right? Because there's different gradations, there's different levels to becoming a successful influencer / business owner when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to coaching, when it comes to marketing, sales, all of that, right? Because it's levels, right? Like a lot of guys, who build their YouTube channels, they focus on their audience first, and then they work on marketing and sales and course development and whatever else, coaching, consulting. So there's multiple levels to your different areas of your life that you are not so great at, right? But the difference between you saying that you're a failure is when you just acknowledge like, okay, I'm a failure or I suck right now, but I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop trying. I'm not gonna stop learning. I'm not gonna stop persisting in my want to attain mastery in that area of the area that I need improvement in, right? So right now, for me, right, I'm just working on being consistent. I'm working on dissecting ideas better and communicating better and holding eye contact, right? Using my hands, right? Learning how to work on my vocal tonality when I say different things at different times, right? So that's part of where I'm at right now, right? And then there's things later on that I'll have to develop that I know, hey, it's just gonna come with age and time, right? I think a lot of us underestimate that, like the fact that a lot of our success and a lot of our results and a lot of the things we want in life just come with time. Like it's amazing to me how many people like don't accept that fact. Like you can feel so anxious, you can have self-doubt, you feel like you're depressed, or some people commit suicide, right? But you have to realize that the level of success that you want in your life comes from the persistence that you maintain and the time that you're in the game, right? You have to just know like, hey man, I just need to be in the game longer, right? Because, like I said, there are certain things that I have to develop at certain times that are just gonna present themselves when the time is right. And you can't necessarily know what you're gonna need to work on at a specific definite time. And I think that's where over planning comes in. But I think if you are just aware of that reality, I think it can bring you a little bit more peace of mind to your psyche as you just continue on to build whatever you're building. So guys, I struggle with this too, because there's times where I'm like, dude, I suck at this, or I'll overthink about like how I'm gonna do something that I know is gonna make me successful, right? But I know that there's certain things I need to work on now before I get to that, right? And I'm 24, right? So I haven't been in the game that long. I'm not an elder yet, right? So there's things that are gonna come later on in life when you're more developed at the things you're good at now, so that you can kind of like unlock that level and attain mastery when you get to that level that you need to unlock, right? When the time comes. So I think that's really how you overcome your like feeling of like inferiority and constant like low self-esteem and low confidence, because things like self-doubt, anxiety, or even just general worry, right? You can overcome a lot of that by having this understanding, right? And it's not to say that the process of you like learning and mastering the things isn't going to be difficult, right? I'm not trying to exempt the reality that the thing will be difficult to develop, but I am trying to bring light to the fact that you fail your way to your growth. There's no such thing as like growth without the process of you like not knowing how to do something and then learning how to do it, and then just the thing being like second nature as you do it over time, right? That's really the thing to understand and grasp here. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.